By the time I recorded this video, this UI of Plasticity was still in beta, and since I don't wanted to produce an already outdated video, I decided to go with beta. And there aren't that many differences between this updated UI and the old version, just a simple facelift. Nevertheless, I would like to show you the differences. So here, this taskbar, which is on the right, is now at the left side. The outliner is at the same place, and all these things are now arranged in a better, more efficient way. So that's basically it. Let me give you a brief Plasticity introduction for kickstarting right away. So therefore, let's go first to Preferences, and I will leave here in the navigation everything as it is. And since this is a Plasticity in combination with Blender course, I prefer the Blender preset. And each time after making any adjustments here, you have to restart Plasticity. Make sure that this is enabled and that the port is at 8980, because we will need it later for the Blender Bridge plugin, and everything else is cool. So how can we navigate? With the middle mouse, we can orbit. With Shift middle mouse, we can pan. And Control middle mouse, we can zoom. So that's basically it for the navigation. So there are three kinds of objects we are working with in Plasticity: curves, sheets, and solids. So let's check them one by one. Curves consists of control points, and I will get to this in a minute. So this straight line, for instance, is a curve. Here a spline curve is a curve. The different type of circles are curves. Polygons are curves, and you can use these for creating sheets, which is the second type we are dealing with in Plasticity. And sheets can be extruded for creating solids, the third kind. Curves, sheets, solids. Let's check the different modes. There is the control point mode, and here you can see the shortcut right away. 1 for control point mode, 2 for edge mode, 3 for face mode, 4 for sheet and solid, and I have them also in my radial menus. And there is a fifth one, which is object mode. And if you select object mode, all of them are activated. That means all of them are selectable. But let's go one by one, and I will come to the radial menu also in a minute. So first of all, let's check control point mode. Control point obviously are the points which are used to shape curves. So let's say here in control point mode, this this curve is activated. If we type in Shift S, we get another control point, and we can use this one to shape the curve. So that's it for the control point. Edge mode, the second one. It is called edge mode, but you can select also curves with them. So these are all curves. You can select them in edge mode. The third one, face mode. You cannot select these curves in face mode. It doesn't make sense, of course. You can select closed curves like these in face mode. You can select sheets in face mode, and you can select faces of solids in face mode. Let's check the fourth one, sheets and solids. If you hover over the objects, you can see what is selectable and what's not. So these aren't selectable in this sheet and solid mode. Only obviously the sheet and the solid is selectable. And the fifth one, which isn't visible here, is object mode. You can access this mode by pressing 5. And in object mode, everything is selectable, each object. Okay, and as in every 3D program, you can do three things with the objects. You can move them, you can rotate them, and scale them. So move by pressing G. You can move them along the handles of the gizmo which appears as soon as you press G. So here, Z-axis, X-axis, Y-axis, all the relevant planes in this case. You can rotate an object pressing R. Here you can rotate along the Y-axis, along the X-axis, and the Z-axis. And scale. If you press S, you can scale along the X-axis, Y-axis, and Z-axis. And there is also the freestyle version for all these three edits. So if you press GG, you can move an object freestyle. If you press SS, you can scale freestyle and rotate R twice, RR. you can rotate an object freestyle. So that's basically it. Here in the outliner, as soon as you create an object, let's say we want a duplicate of this guy, pressing Shift D, have a look at what happens here in the outliner. If we press Shift D, a new object was created. And the outliner on Plasticity is organized based on their types. So curves, sheets, solids. If we create another solid, let's say a cylinder, press OK, boom. Another solid was created here in the outliner. The same goes for sheets. In object mode, so if you press 5 and select objects of different kinds, let's say this one, the solid, this curve, and the sheet, shift select this. And if you press Ctrl G, we can group them and give it a name by double clicking. And if we open this newly created group, it's again organized in solids, sheets, and curves. So it will always divide it into their different types. And here are 3 symbols. The first one is for hiding. The shortcut for this one is H. So if we select this one and press H, it's hidden. Here the eye is closed. Bring it back by pressing Alt H. The second one is deactivating. It is a more enhanced way of hiding. Let me show you the difference. I want to hide this one, pressing H, and I deactivate this one here. And if I unhide, pressing Alt H, this one comes back, which was hidden, but the deactivated one doesn't come back. You have to go here and press this sun symbol. The third symbol is obviously for locking and unlocking. Here you can switch between orthographic and perspective mode. So perspective is the more natural one, but which also shows the objects more stretched. So that's why it's more practical to work in orthographic and check in perspective mode. So let's say from the front view, you can see it like this. And the front view in perspective mode is automatically again stretched. This one shows and hides the overlays, Alt-Shift-Z. X-ray mode, we can see the edges on the other side. If you want to hide this X-ray mode, press this button or Alt-Z. And here you can switch between render mode and the normal working mode. Show edges, hide edges, we will use this one a lot. And everything else we will discover along the way. By the way, here you can see the move, rotate and scale, but we will never touch these buttons. We will always use our shortcuts. The same goes for these buttons. We will never go here up and press these buttons. We will either press 1, 2, 3 or 4 or go with the radial menu. Here also Shift D, duplicate the objects. We will also always press Shift D. Boolean will be shown along the course. Array also, radial and rectangular array. And if you press this button, you can see a lot of further commands. But 9 times out of 10, I will press F and type in my desired command. I don't know, somehow I am used to this command field. Let's say F rebuild. If I type in the first 3 letters, I have my command and I can keep on working. If you right click, you can assign a shortcut and you can add it to favorites. So this was the quick overview. Let's start. One quick note for the vacuum heads out there. Here's my Plasticity and here are the adjustments for the pan. So this is click, middle click, right click. And what's most important is here in mapping, uncheck use Windows Ink. Otherwise, your tablet won't work properly.